The house settles. The day's noises fade, replaced by a quiet hum. It's in this profound stillness, when the world outside sleeps, that our bodies begin their most important work. But what if I told you that this sacred time of rest could also be a period of hidden risk? We spend so much of our lives focused on the big health pillars: diet, exercise, avoiding smoking. We follow the rules, take our prescribed medications, and believe we are doing everything right to protect ourselves. Yet strokes, particularly those that occur during the night, remain a terrifyingly common reality for those over 60. For years as a brain health researcher, I was puzzled by this discrepancy. Why were so many responsible adults still falling victim? The answer, I discovered, wasn't in the grand gestures of health, but in the quiet, seemingly insignificant habits we perform every single evening. These are the subtle saboteurs, the overlooked details that can turn our most vulnerable hours into a period of neurological peril. Tonight, we're not going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about empowerment. We will pull back the curtain on 5 of these nightly habits and replace them with simple, science-backed rituals that protect and rejuvenate your brain while you sleep. Because the best way to secure your future is to safeguard your nights. Let's begin with the very essence of life: water. Now, the common wisdom says to stop drinking fluids early in the evening to avoid waking up for the bathroom. It sounds logical, even prudent. But this simple act of avoidance creates a dangerous internal drought. Let me introduce you to Arthur, a retired history professor. Arthur was meticulous. He cataloged his books, organized his meals, and charted his daily walks. He was a man who left nothing to chance. His one concession to chaos was his bladder. "Refuse to let it dictate my sleep," he'd say, ceasing all liquids after 6 p.m. One morning, his wife found him sitting on the edge of the bed, staring blankly at his bookshelf, unable to form the words to name his favorite authors. In the hospital, the diagnosis was an ischemic stroke. The contributing factor? Severe dehydration? His blood had become as thick as syrup. Here's the science we often forget. As we sleep, we lose nearly a liter of water simply through breathing and imperceptible perspiration. In a younger person, the body's thirst mechanisms are robust. But after 60, these signals become muted, less reliable. You might not feel thirsty, but your bloodstream is crying out for fluid. This nocturnal dehydration increases blood viscosity. Think of it as the difference between a rushing river and a stagnant pond. The river flows freely, but in the pond, debris gathers and settles. That debris in your body is the potential for a life-altering clot to form in the delicate vessels of your brain. The solution isn't to flood your system. It's a simple, elegant adjustment. A small glass, about 150 milliliters, or 5 ounces of water, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This small act is enough to maintain vascular fluidity, ensuring your brain receives the steady, life-giving oxygen it needs all night long. It's a toast to your own future. Now, let's consider where you sleep. The allure of a comfortable armchair after dinner is undeniable. You're watching TV, the day is winding down, and you drift off. It feels harmless, perhaps even deserved. But that position could be compressing your lifeline. Let's talk about the architecture of your neck. 2 sets of major arteries, the carotids at the front and the vertebrals at the back, are the superhighways for blood flow to your brain. When you sleep upright without proper support, your head, which weighs about 11 pounds, can fall forward or sharply to the side. This creates a physical kink in those arterial highways. It's basic physics, like bending a garden hose. The flow of water slows to a trickle. For someone with age-related atherosclerosis, hardening or narrowing of the arteries, this reduction in flow is profoundly dangerous. Blood that pools or slows is blood that clots, and this is happening silently while you dream. I remember a patient, Maria, a vibrant grandmother who loved to paint. She started sleeping in her recliner to ease her acid reflux. She woke up one day with her vision blurred in one eye and a strange weakness in her dominant hand. She couldn't hold her paintbrush steadily. It was a transient ischemic attack, or a TIA warning stroke. Her neurologist linked it directly to her sleeping posture. The lesson is clear. Your bed is for sleeping. It's a dedicated space for horizontal supported rest. Invest in a supportive pillow that keeps your spine and neck in a neutral alignment, whether you sleep on your back or your side. You are not just aiming for comfort. You are engineering an environment for optimal blood flow. You are giving your brain an open, clear highway all night. Third, let's discuss something that sits on nearly every senior's nightstand: medication, specifically for blood pressure. For decades, the standard advice was often to take these medications at night. The logic was to control blood pressure during the day's active hours. But our understanding of the body's natural rhythms, our chronobiology, has evolved dramatically. Your blood pressure is not static. It naturally follows a circadian rhythm, dipping to its lowest point between midnight and 3 a.m. This is called nocturnal dipping. This dip is protective. It gives your heart and your entire vascular system a chance to rest and repair. Now imagine taking a powerful blood pressure medication right before bed. You're essentially forcing an even deeper dip on top of the natural one. This can lead to nocturnal hypotension, a state where blood pressure drops too low, dangerously reducing blood flow or perfusion to the brain. Your brain, particularly the delicate watershed areas at the edges of arterial territories, becomes starved of oxygen. This isn't just a theory. I worked with a gentleman, a former engineer named David, who prided himself on his rigid 10 p.m. medication schedule. He started experiencing episodes of dizziness and confusion in the early morning. His family thought it was the onset of dementia. A 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure monitor told the real story. His pressure was plummeting to dangerously low levels every night. We worked with his cardiologist to shift his medication to the morning. The morning confusion vanished within a week. The crucial takeaway is this: your medication schedule from 10 years ago may not be right for your body today. Age, kidney function, and other health factors change how you metabolize drugs. Have an open conversation with your doctor about timing. It could be the most important health conversation you have this year. Now, for our fourth habit, one rooted in frugality and old habits. The temperature of your bedroom. Many of us were raised to believe that a cold room is a healthy room, and that piling on blankets is the smart way to save on heating bills. While a cool room can aid sleep onset, a room that is too cold forces your body into a state of silent, sustained battle all night long. When your body senses cold, it initiates a process called vasoconstriction, especially in your extremities. Your blood vessels narrow to conserve core heat. This narrowing of the pipes automatically increases the pressure within the system. Your blood pressure rises. For an older adult, whose arteries may already be less flexible due to age, this nightly surge in blood pressure is a significant strain on the cardiovascular system. Furthermore, cold temperatures can increase the concentration of clotting factors in the blood, like fibrinogen. Your blood literally becomes more clot-ready. So while you're sleeping, your body is dealing with higher pressure, narrower vessels, and stickier blood. It's a dangerous trifecta. The optimal temperature for sleep, for most older adults, is a surprisingly narrow range, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Think of it as creating a neutral thermal environment, one where your body doesn't have to work overtime to either warm up or cool down. Or use breathable layers. Wear socks if your feet are cold. This isn't about luxury. It's about reducing a major physiological stressor on your body. Finally, our fifth and perhaps most modern risk: the content we consume right before closing our eyes. We call it winding down, but often we're winding ourselves up, marinating our brains in a cocktail of stress hormones. Let's talk about Donald, the retired police officer from the original story. His nightly diet of news and crime dramas was not just entertainment. To his brain, it was a threat simulation. The sympathetic nervous system, our ancient fight-or-flight mechanism, does not distinguish between a real tiger and a cinematic one. The perceived danger triggers a cascade of cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases. Your blood pressure surges. And yes, your blood becomes thicker and stickier. Night after night, Donald was putting his body into a state of high alert, just before asking it to rest and repair. It's a profound contradiction. He wasn't resting. He was simmering in a chemical bath of anxiety, priming his vascular system for a catastrophic event. What you feed your mind in the last hour before sleep is just as important as what you feed your body all day. This final hour should be a sanctuary, a time for neural decompression. Swap the screen for pages. Swap the news for gentle music. Try a simple gratitude practice. Scientific studies have shown that focusing on gratitude can lower blood pressure and improve sleep quality. Write down one small thing from your day that brought you joy. This simple act shifts your brain from a state of threat to a state of peace and safety. So there we have them. 5 simple shifts: a glass of water, a supportive bed, a conversation about medication, a warmer room, and a peaceful final hour. None of these are complex or expensive. They don't require superhuman willpower. They are acts of quiet intention. They are a way of telling your body and your brain that you value them, that you are a partner in your own health. The journey of aging with strength and vitality isn't about avoiding every risk. It's about consciously, consistently choosing wisdom. It's about understanding that the small, nightly rituals are the threads that weave the fabric of a long and healthy life. Protect your nights, and you will empower your days. Thank you for investing this time in your well-being.